Hi everyone, welcome back to Pepcoding. I hope you all are good. So in this video, we are going to do one more question related to doubly linked list. So what is the meaning of doubly linked list? Don't worry, I will tell you. Okay, so before understand the meaning of doubly linked list, let's try to understand what is the demand of our question. So what we have given, you are given a partially written doubly linked list class. Okay, you are required to complete the body of add first function. This function is supposed to add an element to the front of linked list. You are required to update head, tail and size as required. Okay, so we have given one function add first, and the name of that function is add first, right? Keep that point in your mind. We have to write the body of that function, and what we have to write, the question's demand is we want to add an element in front of our given linked list. We have given one linked list and we have to add one element at the first position of our linked list. I hope you have understood till now. And after that, I have to update head, tail and size of my linked list. So that is the demand of our question. Next, input and output is managed for you. Just update the code in add first function. Okay, so let's try to understand it in better way. For example, I have given one linked list 2, 3, 4. So this is my doubly linked list. So what is the meaning of doubly linked list? In doubly linked list, our node contains 3 parts. At middle part, it can store data. Here, it can store, before understanding this, just keep one point in your mind. We have to take 2 pointers in doubly linked list. For example, I am taking next and previous, right? Why we need 2 pointers? Understand that. Okay, here I will place next and here I will place my previous pointer, right? So my next pointer will represent my upcoming node. It will store address of my upcoming node. For example, 4 node wants to make any connection with this node, so address of 4 will get stored here, right? Now what is the meaning of previous? For example, we have any node before that, so I want here it will store address of this node, so 2's address will get stored here. Okay, and similarly, what 2's next will store, it will store address of our this node, right? So this is the meaning of doubly linked list, and it is null, right? So this is our question. So let's try to understand it in better way. I hope you have understood the meaning of doubly linked list. See, now I want to add my 1 in front of my linked list. You can see there is no connection, right? That means this is not a part of our linked list. We have this linked list now, but I want to add 1 at my first position in front of that linked list, right? So what I have to do, I have told you linked list, doubly linked list contains 3 parts. Okay, now see, wait, this is 1. I want to store 1 in front of my this given linked list. So what I have to do, initially it is my head and it is null, right? Here it is storing address of this node, and address of this node is has get stored here, right? Now similarly, this pointer here, it is storing address of this node, and here the previous of this node is storing address of our this node. Okay, now understand, I have to make connections, right? So what I have to do, at next of this node, at next of my new node, right, I will store address of 2, right? And I also have to make connection from here to here. So here I will store address of my new node. So my new node will get stored here, right? What I am saying, my new node, which is 1, will get stored here. So head's value will get updated and head will come here now, right? Now this has become part of our linked list, and it is also, or you can say it is still null, right? And we don't need to update it till we don't want to add any other element in front of that linked list, right? So I hope you have understood till now. Okay, now see, so we have given a linked list and we want to add one in front of that. Simply at next, I have two pointers here, previous here, and next is donating this part, previous is representing this part. So I will store address of 2 here, and at previous pointer of 2 I will store my this node, right? So this is how I can make connection, and it is still null. So I have to do this to get my output, right? Now here the question arises, how we can do the code of this question. So see, what we have to do, we have to play with size. We have to check the size. Sometimes we haven't given linked list. Maybe the size of linked list is 0 and I want to add element at front. Maybe size of linked list is 1, or maybe size of linked list can be n can be any number, right? 3. So here my head and tail both are 0. I want to add one node. So what I have to do, I will add my I will add my this node in my linked list, and my head and tail will get updated. They both are representing 60, and at the next of my 60 I will store null, and at the previous pointer of my 60 I will store also null, right? So this is how I can add one element when the size of my linked list is 0, and at the end simply update the size of linked list, it will become 1 now. Similarly here we have one node in my linked list. I want to add one another node. So how I can do that? See, initially head is here, right? It is null and it is also null. Now I want to store 2, right? So what I have to do, I will store address of my head here, right? And at the previous of my head I will store this node. So this node will get stored here. So this is how we can make connection and add element in front of my linked list. So head will get updated and it will come here now. This is my new head now, and the size will become 2. So update the size by 1. Okay. Similarly for 3, for example, we have given 3 nodes. 1, 2, 3. I want to add 60 in front of my linked list. That means at position number 1. So what I have to do, simply I have to store address of this node here, and at the previous of my head I will store this node. So here my new node will get stored, and it is still null because I don't want to add one more element. So this is how we can make connections. So let's try to code it now. I will try to do the same thing which I have explained you here. Okay. So see, we have given one variable of name data, and initially it is initialized with 0. We have given 2 pointers with the name of previous and next. Then we have given head and tail and size variable also, and that are private, right? Now I have to do my code here, but keep one thing in your mind. I will make one another function and I will write the functionality of my code there, because it's better in programming. It seems better if we make different functions and in each function we write its functionality. Okay, so I will write one more function and I will make it private. Okay, private void add first node, then I will pass argument node. I will make one node here, then what I have to do, I have to check if size is equals to 0. I want to use this here. Why I am using this here now? You all know the meaning of this. We use this. Why we use this? Simply. So we simply use this to point our variables and functions of the class. So that's why I am using this, right? Now, what I have to do, when size is 0, my head and tail is 0, but I want to add one node now. So my head and tail will point to the same node as we have seen here. See, this is the case which I am handling there. Okay. Now, see, if this is not true, my linked list contains some nodes, then at node.next, at new nodes next, what I will store? I will store my head, right? After that, at previous of my head, what I will store? My node. So see, at previous of my head I am storing my new node, and at next of my new node I am storing head. Okay, so I hope you have cleared the meaning of these two lines, and at the end I am simply updating my head. So my new node has become my head now, right? At the end I have to update the size also, or I have to call this private function from my add first function, and that is public. I will make one node first and will pass argument data and simply call my add first function from there. Add first function node. Let's run this code. So we are getting compilation error, 2 errors. Okay, so we don't have data here, we have value here, val variable, right? So let's run it again. Again we are getting error, 1 error. Add first function, add first node. The name of my declared function is add first node. So my function is add first node, and you can see our output has got accepted. I'm just calling my this function from my add first function. So let's submit this code. I hope you have understood what we have been doing from the very beginning of this question. If you haven't understood it yet, please watch this video again. Thank you so much. That's all about this video.